I've spent the last 20 years helping people break free from broken financial advice. And there's these 4 myths I found online that we've got to address. They're the reason that most people work for 40 years and still don't retire free. So the first lie you hear is that you should avoid debt at all costs. Be debt free, pay cash for everything, right? Now, I do agree, you should be responsible with debt. Consumer debt, using credit cards, that can be a dangerous game. But avoiding debt at all costs, sometimes debt can be good. Understand that buying a house, for example, if you have the cash flow and the means to do so, buying a house now locks in the price. You are able to lock in that debt now with dollars that are worth more, because we know with inflation it's worth less in the future. A 30-year mortgage is one of the best investments you can use, especially when you're trying to buy an asset. Do not wait to buy assets just because you're trying to avoid debt. That is dangerous. And that leads us right into the next little trap that you might run into about 401ks and retirement accounts, that they are the way to secure your future. The only way to be able to retire is to have that 401k with your job, getting that brainless, easy money, because you get that company match. It's brainless. Brainless is right. Although you get a company match, which is great, the problem is this. Even if your 401k does everything it's supposed to do, did you know that most of those funds in those 401ks underperform the stock market by at least 2% a year? And 401ks have the highest fees of any kind of retirement account you could possibly do. And so here's what happens. Fidelity, give you an example, those target date retirement funds. Did you know that they underperform the stock market by about 2.1% of the last 10 years? On top of that, they also have fees that exceed over 1% a year. That means you lose over 3%. Well, guess how much that 100% match you get from your employer does long term? It's not 100% return, no. Because it only doubles the money going in. It actually only ends up being about a 2 or 3% extra return over that period of time, over the next 30 or 40 years. Therefore, all the match does is make up for the bad performance of that 401k. Now, you might be doing things like IRAs, investing in the SP 500, congratulations. But I'm about to cover the next myth, is that doesn't always work either, and here's why. Just be patient. Compound interest will make you rich. You just compound interest forever, right? It's like the set it, forget it. It's the 8th wonder of the world, even though Einstein never said it, but they all quote it, right? Now, compounding interest is a good thing. However, what they try to have you do is that they think you're going to compound interest at a very high rate. By the way, hang on for this last one because it's actually about the rate of return on the market, but they tell you you're going to get 10 or 12% a year and it's going to compound and grow, and then eventually this is what you're going to have. The only problem is you also have compounding inflation working against you. You also have compounding taxes if you're using 401ks and IRAs. Now, if you have a Roth IRA, you bypass that one aspect of compound taxes, but you can barely put in more than like $6,000 or $7,000 a year, and then that's it. You're limited how much you can do. It's not enough to be able to be financially free. And that leads to the last point, the fourth one, which is the stock market earns you 10 to 12% long term. You ever heard that? Market returns you 12% a year, and they've been saying that since 2000 BC. Here's the reality though, guys, is that I used to teach the same thing as a financial advisor. I believed it. I wanted to believe it. But when I started to do my own research, I started to do my own numbers, looking at the SP 500, I realized that wasn't true, not long term. I'm recording this now as of April of 2025. In the last 30 years, the average rate of return of the stock market is just barely, it's about 8.03% in the S&P 500. 8.03% average, that's 8%, not 10, not 12, 8%. Now in this next video, I'm gonna show you how that math really works and why relying on the stock market could quietly destroy your retirement plan. So click here to see the truth that Wall Street hopes you never find out.